yeah, very nice to seeing everybody here. Actually, today should be me and Turin, but due to some visa reason, Turin is not here today. He's in Los Angeles, but actually he's here. He's in this screen, so everybody closer, maybe you can see him. So yeah, because Turin is the one to organizing on this hiker house for Goplus. In the last couple of weeks, he also delivered this online workshop there. But anyway, so today I will firstly give you guys a little bit more introduction about Goplus. So decentralized Web3 user security network. And or in another slogan, we're trying to build a security layer for everyone in Web3. But firstly, what does that mean for Web3 security for everyone? Because I don't know what your guys thinking about when people talk about security. I think many people might think about auditing. Is that right? Okay, but actually the thing is regarding on the user safety or security itself, it's not only about auditing protect some project because a lot of people lose their money because some project are getting hacked. For example, Rooney or Poly Network. But actually at the same time, there are many users, they get lost, not only because some project get hacked, actually maybe because they were getting some scammed or some rug pull token or some phishing website. You click on something you don't really understand, but you get into it anyway. So if I can show you a journey, sorry, I'm trying to. If I can show you a journey of the user security, you might already find someone actually getting some scammed when they first transfer their money into Central Exchange. Because we have talked with some risky management team from Binance or Coinbase. Actually, a lot of problem they're facing is there's some user just transfer their money into Binance, and then the next step, they transfer their money into some scam address. And then when you have created a wallet on your MetaMask or whatever, you're starting to holding your private key. But then there are some cases, some people's wallet, private key, or secret phases were stoned. And then finally, you have your own way of play in the Web3. Maybe you're trying some DeFi or NFT. But then you can probably also find that there were some attacking on the phishing or some rug pull or some fake NFT when you're thinking this is one you want, but actually it's not. And also approval or signing, because a lot of times you are using on some DeFi or whatever protocol, so they always ask you to sign on something. But ask yourself, are you always knowing what you are signing for? Do you really understand what you're signing for? And also same for the proof. And then there were also malicious things when you're interactive with some address. But this address itself may be a black address, which means you already somehow in the scam trap with some scammer. Or sometimes maybe this address is black address. So if you do interaction with that, you might be possible to getting some blacklist of some complying regulation. And then also you might get into some project and get hacked. So this is actually many different dimensions in Web3 for user to get scammed or hacked. And this is not only about auditing. So what Goplus is doing, actually we're right now supporting 10 million API call daily to support on user security. So how does that being used? So as for a very quick introduction, we have different of the secured API, which we are setting up the benchmark for Web3 to protect user. We think it's a fundamental element, for example, token, to detect if this token is legit or not, NFT, and also malicious address, and also the way of interaction, like signing or approving, because that is most of the case the people don't understand what is it. And how does it work? So the use case or the partners is actually the data website or, for example, a DEX tools, DEX screen, Jekyll terminal or CMC, I don't know which one you're using, or some wallet. They are using our API as a very fundamental risk labeling to showing you the information. For example, if this token is healthy or not, if that NFT is fake or not. Or when you're doing some signing, they will tell you what you're signing for. You're thinking you're minting some NFT, but maybe they're taking the right of your Ethereum transfer. So that might be some problem. And right now, we had a really strong growth in the last 2 years. And right now, we are supporting 18 chains, mainly like EVM supported, and also have a lot of partners with like a consensus, node service, data website, wallet. I won't speak all of their name there. And and also, this service, this API service, actually it's an open and the permissionless service, which allow any developer to integrate with it. So we have 2.5 million independent IP, like from all around the world, taking our API. And all the data here is actually different. For example, from auditing, it's dynamic, it's real time, and it's keep on updated. So that's what we're trying to build, like on a decentralized user security network. And why we need that? Because we already have like everything on our own. But what we are doing next, actually, we're trying to decentralize our data and also like the service. I don't know if you have seen this this movie. This is actually one screenshot from the Star Wars. Or is there anyone have any background with open source? Like anyone have read from the Cathedral to Bazaar? Anyway, so in the end, I think the very fundamental thing we're trying to build is also against another censorship. Because right now, we're actually the largest data provider. But how to make sure we are not to become another censorship for like saying everybody who is right or wrong. So that is also something we are trying to push forward on that. So in a very quick explanation, we are trying to decentralize our data infra. So we're also trying to build more toolings and also like try to open source more things. So open source not only means like the coding, but also actually the source itself, like the toolkits, the methodology itself. And in the long run, we hope there can also be some other data provider to also contributing the data into Goplus security infrastructure. So in the beginning, they can join like the fundamental element that we are citing, because in the beginning, we need to have some benchmark, because when we talk about user security, maybe in the beginning you don't know what we're talking about. So this is fundamental thing. We're trying to set up the standard to engage with everybody. Okay, this is fundamental thing, but you can add in things on that. You can add in source, and things go through with the development of Web3, whatever is new infrastructure or is new type of dApp, they will also be the new type of the security problem shooting on the user. So that will be an infinite game to working on that. But to have this assumption, then we have a much stronger infrastructure. What's the next need to do? Because in the end, the purpose of this decentralized Web3 user security network is actually to protect the user. So in order to protect the user, maybe only the data providing is not enough. So what we need next? So we need like all the more and more different projects like a data website, wallet, they have more sense to adding like on this security layer on themselves. So they can showing more people if this is risky or not, but at the same time, they can also be some specific security service provided to the end user. Thinking about like in the Web 2, you have a lot of antivirus software, or even in the Windows itself, you have the Windows Defender. So actually, there are someone providing the data and identify all the risky, and there are also someone providing the front end to have some function to the user to subscribe. I mean, there could be some pre-alert, or there could be some like a firewall to stop all this malicious function. And in the end, it should be like serving all the to the different scenario of the user. So it could be DeFi user, it could be an NFT user, GameFi user, SocialFi user. But for now, maybe you don't have that much in the last two end. They're mostly user right now we see are still from like a DeFi, maybe a little bit on NFT, but this can also be the scenario which have the risky there. And the new challenges or the new thing we are trying to build for the next, as I mentioned, first, we're trying to open source more things. That's also the reason we're sponsor on this Hacker House. We're trying to attract the developer to working with Goplus together. And we're going to, in the plan, contributing more first developer tools. So you can already find like the open API in our website, in the Gitbook. But you will also find more SDK supporting on multi-language like Go, PHP, or like Java in the Goplus GitHub. So you can also will find a Goplus ChatGPT. So that will be actually like the any normal of the chatbot. So you can talk with the bot, but actually they can answer you the question with a specific security relevant thing. And that's also something we need to pump. And another thing is we need to create a more like awesome user security or awesome Goplus cases in GitHub. So which means you can show your case in front not only the user, but also the developers to show they're the best practice, like regarding and protect their own end user. And based on that, we are also trying to build this ecosystem. So this is a landscape with the data provider and also the service provider. So I can show you on the next page. And plus on that, we will also like support with that with all different kind of like the contribution to earn or workshop, hackathon, and also this incubation service to support all this different kind of the security service. So this is just the page, we call it the Goplus ICO. So this is actually like the security service marketplace you can find. Right now, you can already find nearly 200 different types of security service. Most of them is facing to the retail market, which is ordinary user. But you can also, as a developer, you can find some toolkits, not only on security, but also like many infrastructure on the like a node service or fuzzing or like some data washing, whatever tools, and even for project like some auditing or penetration test, you can see that at least right now it's a yellow page with all the security service. So next, here why we are here in GMV9. So we are also coming to sharing with our know-how, but also setting up some price to the developer specifically in WinN. So we have this price up to 3,000. There were first price, second price, you can see. And give you a little bit of introduction about our API. As I had mentioned, we have this API for token, which means we have this automatic detection, mainly focusing on smart contract, but also taking the node, the monitoring on the node service on all the like updated result on that. So we have supported 18 chains on that. You will see like the token detection from like contract security, from trading security, and also from like info security. You will see up to 40 different labeling. We are right now trying to detect it. Similar to the NFT, a little bit different is like the scope of NFT is not mostly focusing on trading, but it's also about the smart contract, the metadata, and also like some verified information or not. And then, as I mentioned, there are also like the dApp security information. They are right now it's like 5K dApps, and they're increasing. And also like a signature decoding, 10 public chain supported. So you can find like all the information. We are decoding the method of this non-open source contract of the signing. And then the next is also like a malicious address. We have a specific malicious address database, especially on the honeypot detection and also some others. So what we are trying to encourage people to working with us here is first, we want to see some more developer to create a security application of the service based on our Goplus API. And second, there can also be possible to have some developer tools for developer. And then in the third, we also encourage some people, if you have interested the topic of research there, you can also come into us. And this is not only like a shooting for the one-time like a hacker house bounty. Because this is like the long-term scope, what we are trying to encourage people. So even after this GM done, if you have some fresh idea, you're always welcome to contact with us. I just quickly showing some example, like what is the security service we are using now. We are seeing now. For example, this is from Dex Tools. So if you're going to Dex Tools, you can check on each of the token pages on mainly all the EVM chain. You will actually see they have this Dex score. And in most of their tokens are supported, they have the score themselves. But how did they make the score is actually based on the Goplus security data. This is all the labeling. If you click on here more, you will see all the list of it. So they have the simple methodology to calculate and make a score, because it's very easy to show the user like if this token is safe or not. Similar to another project like AVE DEX. But one thing different, they have a search column. Oops, this is louder. And you can also actually also put some input of address you want to search, and you can also get the result, very similar to each other. And then also some cases with wallet, like a token pocket, you can find all their token. They have a similar function in their mobile wallet. They can show that. And also they have the approve management. You can see all the approve you have given, like a revoke. But you can fund it, like you can revoke it, or if you can also have some like alert to see if it's approved or safe or not. Similar for like ontology wallet, and I won't show everything. And also like even some browser is also using our data. Like this is Opera crypto browser. They're also showing like using like the malicious address and also the dApp information. So this is the first part for any type of the project. Actually, it's no matter what you do, whatever your data website, your wallet, or your DeFi project, you can also adding this Goplus API as a security or risk management layer in your own project. And the second category, if you are very interested in security itself, there's actually, I think there are at least three type of the security service we want to encourage people to do. So we simply divided this security event into before the event, during the event, and after event. So before the event, what you can do is actually similar like what I'm showing you on these cases, but you can add in that in your own apps or changing the ways of like front end to user. So you can show them if there are some risk, or some people actually also using that trying to do insurance. So they can guarantee some user when they have some problem. So they have some like a back financial coverage to save their potential cost for that. And there are also like some service during the event. So they can use our data, but they can also run the transaction simultaneous. So there are different type of ways to doing that. Some people trying to connect it with our data into their RPC. Some people just trying to add in into their front end. So, but the purpose of that is when you find some malicious transaction, so you can cut it off for the user. Of course, the assumption is the user has been subscribed on that in advance. And then after the event, even say you are somehow, unfortunately, you lose your money due to some reason. Maybe you sign something or you're being hacked. But then what you can do next, or what most people don't understand, is that they don't know how did they lose their money. I have come to so many cases like people losing their money, but they don't know how, they don't know what to do. So at least there's one thing you can do. You can actually do a monitoring based on that, and you can following like where your money goes. Maybe it goes to Tornado Cash, maybe it goes to some central exchange. But we also see there are some service provider trying to provide a service, so they can actually doing the monitoring for you. And by doing that, you can even provide some evidence, like to some central exchanges to frozen the money, or even go to some authority to get your money back in some cases, not all the chance. And then the last part is like a research topic. If you're very interested in the research that, we are also welcome on different topic on the technical research, or proposal on funding maybe like a new type of security risk assessment, or discovery on the security vulnerabilities or like a category, and or like some unsolved security issue, not specifically on smart contract, but could be on the front end, or like phishing, or different type of the mechanism itself. So all these type of topics are welcomed. And yeah, that's pretty much what I want to bring today. If you have more questions, you can come to us or any Goplus team member here. And yeah, thank you so much for that.